let's jump to this story. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are seeing is the August 26th, 2024 Time magazine cover of Kamala Harris, and it says, her moment. I'd like to take this moment to, as we show the beautiful, beautiful coverage that Time is giving Kamala Harris, I'd like to show you how they've returned the favor to Donald Trump. Here's how they depict Donald Trump. Meltdown, it says. And then you have this Kamala Harris one from August 26th. But I'd like to point something else out. I have here the year 2024 Time magazine covers. I'd like you to take a moment for those that are watching and look through it. We've got, who is that? Is that, what's his name? Why can't I, do you know that guy's name? I'm forgetting his name.
DHS?
This guy? Yeah. What's...
Mayorkas?
Yeah, is that him?
Mayorkas.
Okay, then...
I can't see the glare.
Issa Rae, I don't know who that is. You got Ukraine, the new anti-Semitism. You've got... Gershkovich. Then you've got a guy on a bike. I have no idea what that's about. Then Patrick Mahomes, hey, shout out, you know. Then you've got some medical stuff. Then you got Donald Trump, it says, if he wins. Then you've got, I don't know who that is. Then you've got a gavel banging on a Trump face. Then you've got her way, whatever. And then you've got Kamala Harris. Now, you may notice something that's missing. Have you guys figured out what's missing from these Time magazine covers? No?
I know the answer.
Yeah, well,
so
what
I
is
feel
it?
like I'm
Probably
cheating.
the assassination attempt.
Hey, where's the Trump assassination attempt? They posted that with the image of Donald Trump raising his fist saying, fight, fight, fight. And it was labeled August 5th, 2024. On July 13th, someone tried to take the life of Donald Trump. He survived, but by a few millimeters. Almost right away, these amazing photos emerged of Donald Trump raising his fist. And I think I can actually find that here. Here we go. August 5th, 2024, Time magazine. But that's not listed among their official covers. You see, what ends up happening is some journalists come out and say, stop sharing the photo of Trump after the assassination attempt because it's helping him politically. The next thing we saw was Time magazine showed a different photo of the rally empty in black and white with the American flag hanging down above and no Donald Trump. And that was also August 5th. And they said, no, don't worry. We're doing multiple covers for August 5th. A week later, Joe Biden drops out of the race and Time magazine takes the Donald Trump assassination attempt out and replaces it with Biden walking out and Kamala walking in. Now they have the next cover, this beautiful, what looks like charcoal portrait of Kamala Harris, surrounded by Kamala signs, looking up, smiling. It's her moment. Yeah, the media is biased, ladies and gentlemen. Don't take my word for it. I just showed you.
It's crazy. And also to just...
It's reality.
It's one thing, like, I get the Trump gavel face one, like, they don't like Trump, okay, whatever, but the attempted assassination of Donald Trump is a major moment in American history. And to say anything to the contrary is to be disingenuous to your readers. I get that you don't like him, you don't want to talk about it, but to just sort of delete that cover is actually trying to say, well, we're going to suppress this and put it in the background.
Well, it's what we saw across the entire media. They all did stuff like this. Mm-hmm. How long were we talking about the assassination attempt for? Like the actual corporate media, maybe a couple weeks max?
And at first,
Maybe?
they wouldn't even say that it was an assassination attempt.
Right. They were like, the first reports were Trump falls at rally after loud noises.
Right.
Trump falls covered in blood after loud noises, people screaming, and man gets shot in the head.
And then the FBI director was like, it could have been glass. We don't know. You know, like they just tried to say this wasn't a real thing, even when it was obviously confirmed that he had been shot at the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania.
There are still people posting that it's like some sort of hoax and that he wasn't really shot and he had put fake blood on his ear. There was somebody killed.
I talked to a guy on the street.
Real quick, sorry. You can still buy this print, this Time magazine cover. You can buy it on their website for a magazine that doesn't exist. There is no, the official cover listed on their website is Kamala Harris replacing Joe Biden, and they're selling this one. I think they were embarrassed. I think they made an editorial decision to quietly pull it down, but they only wanted to go so far because if they removed it outright, then everyone would say, aha, this proves it. And now they're calling it a special report. It was a special edition.
Oh, it was a side, article. A little this thing happened as well,
Yeah, don't be crazy.
Yeah, I talked to a guy on the street. I filmed a video getting people's reactions to actually that exact cover. And one guy was telling me, yeah, well, I asked him about the blood. I was like, okay, what about the blood? And he's like, oh, well, the Secret Service, they put a little bit of fake blood on his ear while he was down. And you're just like, I mean, I guess the logic that explains that, right, is these people have been calling him a Hitler for what, 9 years, 8 years, whatever it is now. And you either have to say, oh, that was so horrible, which why would you say that about Hitler if you actually believe that he's Hitler? The other alternative is, I guess, make up that Secret Service put ketchup on his ear. I mean, that's the other alternative there for them. One
of my favorite theories was that Donald Trump had a gel pack in his hat, and as soon as he fell down, he smacked. So you see him standing there, and then he goes like that with his hand. They were saying that that's when he hits the gel pack to pop the blood out, and then he drops down, knocks the hat off, and he's got the fake blood on his face.
Right.
Or, they actually killed a guy on a roof who tried to shoot Trump.
But he was doing better than Biden before that, right? Because let's not forget, he was running against Biden, and that debate had been, Biden had not been doing well before, but the debate had really rallied all the Democrats who wanted him to leave. So the idea that then Trump would have to stage some sort of like big event where it looks like he was attempted, like, it doesn't make any sense.
Good point. Yeah.
Like, he doesn't need that boost in the polls. If anyone had to do it, it was Biden. I don't know.
Right.
It seems ludicrous to me.
No, it would be another thing. It would be like, okay, maybe you add a little bit of fuel to the flame of the conspiracy of Trump did it if he's like down in the polls and he needs a boost or something.
But he didn't.
No, he was dominating.
Yeah.
I do want to be fair and just point this out. When Donald Trump won, Time Magazine did run this cover as an official cover. It's just Trump and Pence. So it's, when we show that one where it's like Trump meltdown, that is real too. And look at this. They have the meltdown, and then they have the October 24th just before the election.
That's them being lazy, though. They had two versions of this meltdown post, and they're like,
it's
our graphic designer's out. We got to get this one out.
No, but I think the important thing to point out is only after Trump won were they like, we better be nice to him. Before that, it was like fairly brutal. But he got another one. He got Person of the Year back then.
Yeah, I think they've progressively, just like the rest of the corporate media, has progressively gotten more and more unhinged every year that's gone by.
Look at this. The reintroduction of Kamala Harris. I'd just like to point out that she was despised by everybody. She was mocked. She was considered to be stupid and inarticulate. And now they're like, oh, she's the greatest.
She didn't even come second place in the 2020 primaries, right? Like, they didn't even...
Second, she didn't get one delegate.
She didn't get anything. She didn't... That's what I mean. Like, she wasn't even like... A lot of people were like, she's pretty good, right? She had to end her campaign. That's how bad it was. Yeah. And yet, here we are.
I think she ended it before Iowa.
Yeah.
Take a look at this. Look at her polling. This is Civic's favorability. She's 36% favorable, 57 unfavorable, and then just overnight, it's 50 to 46. I'm sorry, dude. You're a cult. You are cultist. You are in a cult. If you want to argue that Donald Trump is bad, please argue Donald Trump is bad. If you want to say that you won't vote for the man for this, that, or other reasons, absolutely, absolutely. Tell me all those reasons. I am all ears. If you then say, instead, I'm supporting Kamala Harris, who has no campaign policies at all, I'm going to be like, what? Well, hold on. You're allowed to not like Trump. Fine. But then claiming you're going to vote for someone for no reason and claiming that. So what this means in this polling, when on the 7th of July, she's at 36, and then a day later, or I should say it's like a week later, she jumps 10 points in favorability. That means there are 10% of people polled who are like, oh, I do not like Kamala Harris. And then all of a sudden they're like, I love Kamala Harris. It's just, why? For what? Give me a reason. Well, I just decided right now she's good. No, you're a cult. That's what cultists do.
They decided she was good because she's not Biden. Like, that's the reason. They always are voting against someone else. And in this case, they're voting against the incumbent. They didn't want it to be Joe Biden. So they're like, okay, cool. So we're going with Harris. It's not because they genuinely like her. It's because there's this, like, I guess, relief honeymoon period where you're like, yeah, he was real bad. This will be better.
I think a lot of them are robots and they see the media's fake hype and they just totally hop on board with it. One, I'm going to Philly this week and I'm definitely going to be asking Harris supporters what exactly they're supporting. And then two, I do want to point out, the drastic shift in support to Kamala Harris. A few years ago, like it would take, if I go out in the street, I'm interviewing people, it would take maybe a few days for you to kind of see that on the street, for it to go from mainstream media to your average liberal on the street, your average person on the street. it's gotten so much worse that one day after, when Kamala announced the campaign and it's all ready to go, it took one day for them to totally jump ship. Nobody cared. Nobody cared that Joe Biden was forced out. And every single person that I would speak with that was a Democrat was very excited about Kamala. So it doesn't even take like a full 24 hours for these people to completely change their mind just because the TV told them so.
Look, that's why people say sheeple. The old meme on the internet was sheeple. Wake up, sheeple. Well, there are some people who just don't want to wake up. They don't want to be told the truth. They don't want to see the truth. They don't want to accept the truth. They just want to live in this world, and that's it. And it's sad, really, because people you'd assume to be otherwise smart people, their brains just go dial tone the moment you say, I will stress it again. When I say, you're allowed to not like Donald Trump, I don't care. Just, talk to me about why. Dave Smith comes here and he does this. And he says, Tim, Donald Trump did this. He did that. He did this. The examples that I often say, he fired missiles into Syria, 59 Tomahawk missiles because the media yelled at him. And I'm like, yeah, that was bad. He increased drone strikes and decreased transparency. Luke Rukowski brings that up. I'm like, that's a good point. He did that. He had massive spending in his first term. I'm like, these are great points to bring up. I'll make an argument why those things are bad. While they're bad, I still see a net positive with the other things that he did because nobody's perfect. They've literally got nothing. Nothing.
You didn't find Tim Walz calling Trump and Vance creepy to be compelling? That was this is what I think is so strange. They constantly are saying over and over again, we have less than 100 days, we have 90 days, whatever, let's do this. And yet they aren't producing any policies. And all of their campaign is just attacking Trump and Vance for very superficial things. Aren't you just wasting your own time right now?
It's a cult.
Yeah, I think a lot of the people, there are some people that can definitely wake up and see the BS, but a lot of a good chunk of the Democrat base are people that simply go off of kind of vibes, right? Like if they're hearing something and their friends are talking about something,
vibes, yeah,
right. But that certainly is the case. There's the cultish aspect of the left. There's the out of touch, rich Laguna Beach aspect of the left. They don't care if a loaf of bread goes up to $50. And then there's the kind of vibes group. And yeah, I think a lot of that's tailored directly at them. Joe Biden falling off a bicycle.
Vibes.
Bad vibes.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.